This is the baby piglin. And it doesn't grow up. And these don't grow up either. However, these mobs are all undead. The baby piglin isn't. Then why doesn't this creature grow up? I mean, they should grow up. The baby piglins don't have a reason for not growing, right? Well, I think I might have figured it out. Why baby piglins can't grow up. And it's all because of another YouTube video and this sound. Now, this video is about baby piglins, but they aren't alone. So, what makes them small? Well, I have already made a video on the other babies, but I'll give you a fast summary of what you need to know for this video. And if you have already seen the video, you can simply skip to the next chapter. You should see the timestamp on screen. Minecraft has 9 mobs that are permanently small. Baby zombie, baby husk, baby drown, baby zombie villager, baby piglin, baby zombified piglin, baby soglin, baby zombie horse, baby skeleton horse. None of them grows up ever. And that's not a bug. It's deliberate, because most baby mobs in the game use something called the age tag, a timer that counts up to 0 and triggers growth. These 9 mobs don't have that timer. They use a completely different tag called isBaby. A binary switch, on or off. No countdown, no transformation, just permanently small. We also found out that the golden dandelion, the item you can use to freeze up baby mobs aging, doesn't work on any of them, because you can't pause a timer that doesn't exist. And that led to the theory. These mobs aren't babies in any meaningful sense. They're not young, they're not on their way to becoming something. They're a distinct state, something frozen, something interrupted, that the game just happens to label baby because they're small. Undead mobs don't age, they don't decay, they're locked in a moment. Something went wrong, and for these mobs, that moment happened when they were small. So small is what they stay. Now, this is where it gets interesting. The baby piglin isn't undead, so why do they stay small? Well, that is what this video is all about. So let's go back to that sound. That clicking, if you ever watched a documentary about nuclear disasters or seen old footage from Chernobyl or just paid attention in science class, that sound should feel familiar. That is the sound of a Geiger counter, a device designed to detect one thing: ionizing radiation. Now, Mojang didn't just accidentally use a clicking sound for the basalt deltas biome. They chose it out of every sound they could have used for that volcanic, ashy, crater-ridden landscape. They chose the one sound that in the real world means radiation. And here's the thing about basalt deltas. Look at it. Really look at it. It looks like a fallout zone. There are barely any mobs here, barely any vegetation, just rock, ash and magma. It's a wasteland, and the game is quietly telling you why, with that sound. Now, I need to talk about real science for a moment, because this theory only works if radiation can actually do what I'm claiming it does. In real life, radiation alters DNA. That's not science fiction, that's just biology. But more specifically, radiation has a very particular effect on one thing: growth. Research shows that radiation impairs growth through two main mechanisms. The first is direct damage. Radiation can physically inhibit the growth plates in bones, especially in the spine and long bones. It reduces bone density and it can essentially stop development mid-track. The second mechanism is hormonal. Radiation damages the pituitary gland, and the pituitary gland is responsible for producing growth hormone. Damage that gland and the body simply stops getting the signal to grow. And here's the part that matters most for this theory: the younger you are when you're exposed, the worse the damage is. Children exposed to radiation before puberty are at the highest risk of permanent short stature. Doses of just 1 gray during fetal development or early childhood can result in height reduction of around 6 centimeters in adulthood. Not killed, not turned undead, just stopped. So, where does the baby piglin live? The Nether, a dimension that contains the basalt deltas, biome that the game itself marks with the sound of a Geiger counter. Piglins live their entire lives in the Nether. They're born there, they grow up there, they spend every single moment of their existence inside a dimension that is, according to Mojang's own sound design, radioactive. And the piglins, they were exposed from birth. From before birth, potentially, at the most critical window of development, when the bones were forming, when the pituitary glands were developing. The radiation didn't kill them, it didn't turn them undead, it just interrupted them, right at the moment they were supposed to grow. The "It's baby" tag isn't a glitch, it isn't laser coding, it's the game's way of saying that something happened to these creatures that made growth impossible, permanently, irreversibly. They aren't babies, they're adults. They behave like adults, but the bodies never got the signal to grow up, because the radiation took that from them before it ever had a chance. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. If the whole Nether is radioactive, why do adult piglins grow up just fine? And that's actually a great question. The answer is the same one that real-world science gives us. Adults are far less sensitive to radiation than children. The damage is most severe during development. Once you're fully grown, radiation is still dangerous, but it can no longer stop growth that has already happened. The adult piglins were either born somewhere else or born before the basalt deltas became what they are now. However it happened, they survived the critical window. The baby piglins didn't. Minecraft hides things in plain sight. A sound file most players never notice, a biome that looks like a wasteland, a mob that never grows up, and nobody can explain why. But when you put it all together, the sound design, the biology, the isbaby tag, the environment, a picture starts to form. The baby piglins aren't broken, they aren't glitched, they aren't small for the sake of being small. The survivors of something they were never supposed to survive, and the Nether made sure that they carry it with them forever. It's me, Martin, and I'm out.